Hello everyone, welcome to Euron. In this video, I'm trying to bring something very interesting, especially for a data engineer or a big data guy. So those who would like to leverage data engineering or a big data, and those who would like to do it through Databricks or Azure Data Factory, ADF. So for them, I'm trying to bring a 5 project back to back just for free for all of you, so that you all will be able to learn that how Databricks works actually, and how Azure Data Factory and related services are going to combine together, and you will be able to solve a different kind of a problem statement inside data engineering. So let's get started, guys, and let's try to create first of all account for a Databricks and account inside Azure, because that's the most crucial part you will be able to find out at the end of the day. And yes, all of these things you will be able to create without using or without paying for anything. Obviously, for a Azure account you have to add a card, a credit card or a debit card, but it's completely fine. So even Azure provides you a student subscription, so with that you can even explore almost everything. But yeah, some of the services which will be available in a regular account, so that will not be available inside a student's account. So let's get started, guys. So first of all, go to Google and we have to create a Databricks account. So I can try to search for Databricks. Now I can go to this particular link from a Databricks. Now Databricks, what is Databricks, by the way? So Databricks is nothing but it's a platform, so where it is going to provide you every kind of things which is required to build any kind of ETL, extract, transform, load kind of a operation. Or if you would like to do some sort of a data transformation, if you would like to run some sort of a SQL queries on top of a data set, if you would like to create a end-to-end transformation, everything you will be able to do with respect to a Databricks, and you can attach your Databricks even with Azure, AWS or a GCP. That's completely fine. So here Databricks is one of the most popular and powerful platform which is available in the market. It is created by a same set of people, same team who has created Spark, and since 2010, I believe, if I'm able to recall it correctly. So since 2010, so Spark framework is trying to power the entire data engineering industry. And as a data engineer, you can't miss that part. So unless and until you're not aware about Spark or Azure or AWS, you will not be able to become a data engineer. So that's completely fine. Now, one more thing, guys. So on a Euron, so we have launched a data engineering course. So even you can go and check out all of these courses. We have so many courses, not just one. So we have a data engineering course as well. So I'm taking that particular class, and end to end big data engineering with AWS, Azure, GCP, each and everything. And especially with respect to Azure Data Factory and its related services, Databricks, I'm going to discuss in this particular batch. Batch price is very much nominal, and with Huron Plus, you all will be able to access each and everything just in 2,999 rupees. Just with this small subscription, each and everything will be available to you. So fine, coming back to a Databricks. So here you can just go and click on Try Databricks. This is a button where you have to click, and here so it is giving you 2 recommendations. So one is for a professional use, one is for a personal use. I'll try to go ahead with the professional use because I will be able to get most of the services which I need actually. So get started for free and continue to express setup. I can try to log in through a Google, and I can try to even give an email ID. Now, use your work email for a best experience and up to $400 of credit. So if you have a work email ID, if you have your company email ID, it's completely fine. You can go ahead with that. If you don't have it, if you're just a student, if you're trying to learn or explore for the very first time, you can even go ahead with your personal email ID. That's completely fine. So here I'm going to put my personal email ID, continue with email, and it has sent me a verification code. So let me put this verification code over here. Now this is my account name. I can try to change it if I want, and then click on continue. I'm going to select my country, which is India, and continue. Now, this is the most, I would say, irritating part which Databricks has introduced. Solve a puzzle, and sometime this puzzle is going to be crazy. Believe me, it is going to be a crazy. So I have already solved or created one more account with the same process. So after this, your account will be done. Your account will be created. Now let me show you how your account looks like. So this is how your account actually looks like. So once you will be able to get an access of each and everything, this is how your entire user interface is going to look like. Now, what this user interface says, let's try to understand. Like I said, so with Databricks, you will be able to do each and everything, each and every kind of a operation. Now, you can try to upload a data. Even Databricks provide you some of the inbuilt data set. You can try to use even that one, but most of the time you will end up using your data, especially when you are going to build a real-time project. So obviously you don't want to use a data set provided by a Databricks, and it's not even recommended. So okay, so here this is a user interface, and now this user interface is going to change if you are going to use Azure Databricks. Little bit, it is going to give you some of the additional features over here if you are going to use Azure Databricks, which I'm going to show you in some time. So how this Azure Databricks looks like, or how you will be able to use this Azure Databricks services. But first of all, let's try to explore this particular part. So here you will be able to see a new tab. This is the very first tab, and you can try to create a notebook. You can try to create a table for a SQL query. You can try to create a cluster for a compute, and you can try to run a machine learning experiment. Now, I'm not going ahead with the upgradation, simple, right? So I'm just going to go ahead with the free one. So whatever Databricks is going to give me as a free user, so without paying anything or without even adding a card. So here I can go and I can try to click on creating a notebook, and simple, it will be able to create a notebook for me. I can try to name it maybe as a test 1, 2, 3 kind of a notebook, and it's done. So this is a notebook. Here I can write my Python code. I can write my Spark code, Spark ML code. I can try to write my SQL code. That's completely fine. Scala code or even a R code, I will be able to write it down. So here it is giving you this feature, right? So you can try to select, or even in the same notebook, you will be able to select these things. Markdown, you can try to select if you're looking for a documentation. Python, you can try to select by default. It will be able to select Python. Now, SQL, you can try to select if you are filing a SQL query, or maybe if you're writing a Spark SQL. Scala, you can try to write, or R, you can try to write or create over here. Or maybe write a R query, or maybe a Scala code, or maybe a Spark, Python, PySpark code, or maybe a SQL code. So each and everything you will be able to do it in this particular place. Now, let's suppose if I'm writing a simple print operation over here, that this is my first notebook on data bricks. Okay. Now, so if I would like to execute this particular statement, which is a simple print command, right? So this is the simple print command. Now, so I need a compute power. Unless and until I don't have a compute power, this is just a plain simple form kind of a structure. So unless and until I'm not going to attach a computation, means RAM, memory, and a core, it will not be able to execute it. Let me try to execute. A shortcut you can try to use to execute it, or maybe you can try to click on run shell, or shortcut wise, so shift enter or control enter. So let's suppose if I'm going to click on shift enter or control enter, right? So it is going to give me this kind of option that you can try to create a resource, or maybe you can try to use your existing cluster. I have just created an existing cluster. I'm going to show you. So I can go over here on a compute tab, right? And I can try to create a compute. I can try to create a compute over here. Now, so by default in a free version, it is going to give you a shared compute with a 15 GB of memory and 2 cores. I think 2 cores. Yeah, it is going to give it to you. Now, so in a paid mode, let's suppose if you are going to attach with the Azure or GCP or AWS, it is going to give you a different kind of a feature so that you can go and configure it. But yeah, in a free mode, it is just going to give you this much. So here you can try to select maybe a runtime version. So you can try to select an old one, or maybe you can try to select the new one with LTS. Fine. Now you can try to even select ML. So if you are writing some sort of a Spark ML kind of a code, So I'll try to go over here and then I'll try to create a compute. So once it is going to create a compute for me, right? Once this compute will be ready, I can start writing a code, I can start reading a files or whatever operation that I have to do, I will be able to do it. So means if I'm planning to learn Spark, I can write my code over here. I can learn a Spark. That's completely fine, right? And whatever you are looking for in terms of a Spark, whether it's a Spark UI or maybe an entire log, each and everything you will be able to get over here. So without any kind of a concern or worries, because setting up a Spark inside your local system is a bit tedious approach. And again, so if you are having a Windows machine, Mac machine or Linux machine, you will face a different kind of a problem with respect to a file path, installing a libraries and many more things. So it's not advisable. And again, at the end of the day, when you are going to join industry, you are going to use a Databricks. So cluster is going to take some time, and now it's ready as we are talking about it, right? Now here you have a option, so you can restart the cluster. As of now, my cluster is already up. I can terminate the cluster. I can try to edit the configuration. Configuration wise, you will be having a very limited flexibility with respect to a configuration if you are using a free one. If you are using a paid one, obviously you have a lot of luxuries over there, which I'm going to show you even with the paid account going forward. Because I'm generally like try to use a free account as well as paid account, both. Because some of the experiments you will not be able to run, not some, all the advanced like operation you will not be able to run with respect to a free account. So here it is giving you a notebook, it is giving you a library, event log, a Spark UI, driver log, apps, and many more things, right? Many more things over here. So I'll come to this point, but before that, let's go to my workspace. Now, workspace is a place so where you can try to create a folder, you can try to create a notebook, you can try to create a ML flow, you can try to even create a different kind of files. Whatever you want, you can try to create it. And whatever recently you have done, for example, so I have opened up this test 123. So this notebook, this is the notebook, right? So this notebook you will be able to find out where. So inside a workspace, go to the user, and this is your user inside this tech@huron.1. So you will be able to see this one. Okay, so go to this notebook, and what I can do is I can try to attach my compute with this one. So now here, so compute is attached, and it is giving me by default in a free version, it is giving me 15 gigabyte of memory and 2 core and a feature with respect to this. So maybe I can try to check a configuration, I can try to check Spark UI, I can try to check a driver log, blah blah kind of a things I will be able to check over here. Now, so this is just with the free. With the paid one, like I said, I'll show you that part as well going forward, right? Not in this one because you will get confused. So and little bit it's confusing in a beginning, but believe me, it's a very simple one, very simple one. So once you will get used to it, you will be able to do whatever you want. So this is a very simple print statement which I have written over here. Now, so what I have to do is, so maybe I have to read some of the file which is available in my local machine. Some of the file I have to read which is available by local machine, and maybe I would like to do some sort of a simple data frame kind of operation. So that's my objective, and then I'll wrap it up. I'll wrap it up this Databricks one, and then I'll move to the Azure account creation at least. So here what I can do is, so if I have to read a file, so what I have to do is I have to go to my user, I have to go to a setting, and then there is a tab called as advanced tab. Now here, so you will be able to find out a DVS file browser option. So by default, it will be off. And you will not be able to upload any of your file inside a Databricks file system. That's by default. So you will not be able to upload it. So what you have to do is you have to on it first of all, right? So if you are trying to upload your file, now from where you will be able to upload your file, so just on it, and then maybe I can try to refresh. So after just for the security purposes, you can just try to refresh it. Now you can go to a catalog tab. Inside a catalog tab, so there will be a DBS option you all will be able to find out. Now by default, this DBS option you will not be able to find out, but here, so yeah, you will be able to find out a DBS option. cluster. So I can try to select the cluster if it is not showing me the option. Now here there is a DBS file after switching it on from your setting advanced. Now here what I can do is I can try to click on this DBS and then I can try to upload some of the file. So whatever file I'm looking for, I can try to upload it. So here what I can do is I can click on this particular upload option. So this, let me delete this file, same file I'm going to upload. So here I'm going to click on this upload and then I can try to drag and drop my file. I can try to even select my file. Now what kind of a file I'm going to upload, let me show it to you. So I have this Excel sheet which I have like downloaded from a Kaggle dataset, and this is basically talking about supermarket sales basically. So what was the invoice ID, from which branch of supermarket sales has happened, from which city sales has happened, customer type, so whether customer was a normal one or maybe a customer was a member of that particular supermarket, gender male female, and then product line, so health and beauty, electronics, and then unit price for a particular product, then quantity which has been purchased, what was the tax which has been applied, what was the total, when this purchase happened, at what time, what was a payment mode, then COGS, and then there is a gross margin, and then what was a user rating, right? Gross income, gross margin, COGS, and everything. So this is a file which I have to upload and I have to read it through a Spark inside a Databricks. Okay, that's completely fine. So I'll go over here and wherever this file is inside your local directory, so wherever this file is, just go and select this particular file and then done. Okay, so then done and upload it. So it has already uploaded this file. This is the file. Now if you are going to double click on this file, so this is going to give you a API format, so a Spark API format. So this is a place, so DBFS is nothing but Databricks file system. So inside Databricks where this file is available, so you will be able to get a path or file API format. So again, same thing inside a DBS, so where it is available. So maybe I can try to copy this particular path, close this one, and I'll go to my notebook. So I can go to a workplace where I have a notebook, and over here, so maybe I can start writing my code. So first of all, let me execute this print. So if print is able to execute, so yeah, print is able to execute itself. Everything is up and running. That's completely fine. Now, this notebook is very simple, very basic. All the feature, functionality, each and everything you will be able to understand in the easiest possible way. And even going forward, so I'm going to explain you. So what are the components which is available in my class? Anyhow, I used to explain. So here we have to read our data. Now to read a data, so I'm going to use PySpark. I can even write a simple Python code, and with the help of Python code, Pandas library, I will be able to read it because that library will be available by default. But here, so I would like to do it with the help of PySpark, Python Spark. So what I can do is, so first of all, I have to import a Python library. And once I'm going to import a Python library, so maybe with the help of that, I will be able to read it, or whatever operation which I would like to perform, I can perform it. So what I can do, I can write from PySpark, and it is going to give me a recommendation .sql. So first of all, I'm going to create a session. So import Spark session. So import Spark session. Okay. So this is the only thing which I need so far. Right, this is the only thing which I need so far. So I'm going to just import this one, and then what I can do is I can try to create a Spark session, because Spark runs each and everything inside a particular session, so that it can submit your code to a masters, and then worker is going to execute it. Now here again, so here what I can do is, so maybe I can try to create a Spark session. So just by writing a variable called as Spark is equals to Spark session, the import that we have done. So a Spark session dot builder dot, I can try to create an app name. So whatever app, so supermarket app data read. So this is my app name which I'm going to give, and then dot get or create. So it is going to give, or this particular line of a code is going to create a Spark session. And at any point of a time, whenever you are writing a Spark code, so you have to create a Spark session. There are multiple ways to create it. This is one of the way by which you will be able to create a Spark session. So fine, if a Spark session is created, it simply means that my Spark is active and I can try to perform any kind of operation which I want with respect to a Spark. So what I can do is I can try to write a Spark, which is the session variable, this variable, right? Dot, I can try to write maybe a read.csv. So the data set which I'm trying to read is basically a CSV data. So I can simply try to give a CSV over here. Now, what is a path for this particular CSV which I'm planning to read? So let me check once again. I'm just going to open up. So here inside a catalog, inside this default, so we have, let me select inside a DBFS. So inside a file storage, inside a file store, there is a data, right? There is a data. So this is the data which I would like to read. So fine, copy this path over here. And then inside this, I can try to paste this path. Now execute it and let's see whether it is able to read my data or not. So for sure, it will be able to read my data. So it is running a Spark job over here. And as you can see, it is giving me a data frame. So at the end of the day, you all will be able to get a data frame. It's nothing but a tabular kind of a data it is going to give you. Now, it simply means that yes, this is working completely fine. I don't have to worry about it. I'm able to read a data from a DBFS, Databricks file system. Okay. Now, once I'm able to read a data, after that, I can perform whatever kind of a transformation operation which I want. Or maybe if I would like to write some sort of a SQL queries on top of it, yes, I can try to leverage a Spark SQL. If I have to build some sort of a machine learning model, even I can do that. Even if I will be able to do some sort of operation with respect to a generative AI or Gen AI, right? Because at the end of the day, data read is a very first part. And this is just one of the part, right? Going forward, so it's not like we are going to put all the data into a DBFS. Maybe I will be having a data into a Azure Blob or Azure Blob Storage Gen 2. And from there, so we are going to mount it. We are going to read the data. There is a different kind of a combination that you all will be able to find out. Now, so here I'm able to read a data, but I would like to show you something interesting. So let's go to a compute. Now this is my compute cluster, right? Now here, so I would like to show you a Spark UI. By the way, open a new tab. And when I'm trying to read a data, you can see that system is trying to submit, right? System is trying to submit this as a job, and it is going to execute it. And inside Spark Spark UI, you will be able to see all the details. So what I was trying to do and what has happened in a backend, whatever Spark code that you are going to write. So you can come to a Spark UI and you will be able to execute and you will be able to see it. It's very simple. And as a developer, most of the time, as you will go in depth, you will end up using this Spark UI to optimize the things one by one, what Spark has done and which particular steps has taken, what kind of a compute, what kind of a resources, everything in a detail you all will be able to observe. And even if you will be having some sort of errors, you will be able to observe it, right? So there is something called as a driver's log. So again, we have some data inside a driver log now. There is something called as an event log. There is something called as a library. So if I have to install some external library, maybe from a PyPy, right? Some Python library, or maybe a Maven packages, if I have to install, I will be able to install each and everything from here, from a cluster. Now going back to my notebook. So here I'm able to read my data. So maybe I can try to store this data into a variable called as data frame. Okay. So data frame. Now, so data frame is nothing but a tabular structure. So maybe if I would like to see, so what are the columns which is available inside my data frame? So by default, it is going to show you this kind of a structure, right? Now, let's suppose if I'm going to write, this is just a column name which has been given by a system. Now, why it is giving me this column name C0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? Because here, so while I was trying to read a data, so there is a parameter called as header. So header is equals to true. It simply means that I'm trying to say that my data set is already having a header. So whenever you're trying to read a data, always try to consider header as my column name. So this is what I'm going to do once again, and then again I'm going to execute a column name. And this time, last time it was giving you some alias, but this time it is giving you a proper column name, as you can see. Yep. So proper column name, it is trying to showcase invoice ID, branch, city, customer type, gender, product line, and so on. So it is giving you all the column names. So fine, I'm able to see what was the column. I can even try to see a data. So data frame dot show, and this is going to show me the data. So this is going to show me a couple of rows over here from a data set. Not all the data it is going to showcase, but yeah, a couple of rows from a data it is going to showcase. So if you are going to minimize a window, you will be able to see it in a very, very clear way that these are the data which was available inside my CSV file, and I'm able to see all of these data inside this one. So data frame dot show. So finally, guys, we are able to read a data. We are able to basically see a data frame. Now, on top of this, if I would like to perform any kind of a EDA operation, I will be able to perform it. Some sort of a transformation operation, yes, I can do it. So Databricks part is done. Now, like I said, so once you are going to use Azure Databricks, then this things is going to be different. This things is going to be different, little bit different. So it is going to give you more options over here. But as of now, it is not going to give you more options. Okay, so let's go back and try to create our Azure account again. So you can go and explore a big data masters course if you want, and that's completely fine. I'm teaching each and everything starting from basic till very, very advanced. Now, so I'll go to Google and I'll try to search for Azure, not Databricks. So Azure login portal. Yeah. So Microsoft Azure login portal, I can try to look for. So Microsoft Azure portal. So here is a portal. Now, so for the very first time, when you will come over here, so you will be able to see Microsoft Azure portal, sign up, or new to Azure, start for free. Obviously, I'll try to create a free account, and even for students, right? Even for a student, so Azure gives you a student account. So I can go to Google and Azure student account, I can try to search for STUDENT, a student account. So it's very, very popular amongst the students. So Azure student account, you will be able to see. So build the cloud free with Azure for students. Use your university or school email to sign up and renew each year you are a student. So here you have to use your email ID, which has been provided by your university or school, and Azure is going to give you $100 of credit, and no credit card is required. In a normal account, so you will have to add a credit card, although Azure is not going to charge you unless and until you are not going to use some sort of a paid services, but you will have to add your credit card in a very, very first place if you are going ahead with the Azure account. Now, so it's not like both the accounts are same. So students accounts will be having less privileges. You will not be able to see or access some of the paid services which is actually required to build a project, right? So for that, maybe you can try to go ahead with the normal account. So with the normal account, and again, so with the free, let's suppose if I'm going to click on start for free, so it is telling me that try Azure for free or pay as you go. So pay as you go means, so you can try to make a payment on top of your free credit. So it is giving you some sort of a free credit. Azure free up to 30 days. There is no upfront commitment, cancel anytime. Azure free account, if you are going to use, so available only to a new Azure customer. So again, if you're the old one, no. Access full catalog of services up to free amount and USD 200 credit. So $200 USD it is giving you. So in INR, it will be around 16,000, 17,000 rupees, right? As per the current conversion. So it is going to give you 17,000 rupees of credit in a free account. Again, pay as you go means, so once you will exhaust your free amount with the top 20 popular services, then it is going to charge you for each and everything as you will consume those services. Okay. So maybe I'll try to use this account, but still I'll have to add a credit card. So even though if I'm going to use this one, Azure free account, still I have to add the credit card. And in case of a student account, so it is, you don't have to add the credit card. So that's the differences. Plus services wise, so a lot of services will not be available with the student account, but it will be, everything will be available with this account. So sign up, and yeah, so it is going to give you some sort of a forms where you can try to fill it up, and then you can try to create your account. So here I'm going to write learning logic email ID. So let me pull out my learning logic email ID. So here, and again, so the sign up process is not very different or difficult. So whatever like a procedure we have, we could not find the account with that username. Okay, create one. Click on create one. Fine. So next, and then again create a password. So maybe I can try to create a password. Okay, fine. Next, and then India, I can try to give a date of birth, something like this, 91, and then click on next, and then enter the code, so which has been sent to my email ID. So fine, let me copy and paste my code, and then next. Okay. Again, so beat the robot. Next. So you have to beat this robot, guys. Everywhere we have this nowadays. So yeah, let me beat the robot. So beat it. Okay. Okay. Submit. Okay, verification is done. Now it will ask me to add a credit card, because unless I'm not going to add it, it is not going to allow me to get into an Azure account. So first name Sudhanshu Kumar, Sudhanshu only, middle name Kumar, last name Kumar, email address, phone number I can try to enter, and then it is going to send you the verification code over a mobile. So you can try to opt for text or this one. Then you have to add a company name if you have, otherwise leave it. So all these fields are basically optional, and after this, once you are going to agree, it is going to ask you for your credit card. Now, once you are going to add it, then it's fine. You all will be able to utilize all the services. Simple. So it is going to take maybe some time, maybe half an hour of time for account verification after adding a credit card, and then it is going to activate your account. So I'm going to show you my activated account here. I don't want to show you my credit card detail. That's the reason. So once you are going to log in, this is my new account. I have not done anything in this account. I have multiple accounts where I'm trying to do a lot of experiments. I have a company account as well, but so this is a very new account which I have created. So this is how your account looks like. So once you are going to fill this form, and after this, right after this, so you have to add your credit card. So after adding a credit card, account verification, so this is how your account looks like actually. Now here inside Azure, you will be able to find out not just one or two or three services. You will be able to find out more than 250 plus different kind of services. So whether you are looking for a compute, you are looking for a Azure Data Factory, you are looking for a data lake, everything you will be able to find out, blob storage, everything, or even for a ops operation CI/CD pipeline if you have to create. Azure gives you everything, even a machine learning or generative AI related things it is going to give you. Now, so what I would like to show you over here is that we have a Databricks account over here, right? And these are the features which it is giving me, which is a limited one. And again, some of the feature like a workflow, I will not be able to use it unless and until I'm not going ahead with a Databricks subscription. Now inside Azure, they gives you basically Azure Databricks with lot of services. So let's try to search, or maybe I can go over here and create a new resources. I can even click over here, or maybe I can try to click on create a resource, and I can try to search for a Databricks. Okay. So here Databricks, I can come and click over here now. So close. Now, Azure Databricks is one of the services that we are going to utilize heavily during a project. Plus Azure Data Factory, ADF, we are going to utilize. Now click on this Azure Data Factory, and then it is going to ask you create. As of now, it's completely like I'm using a free plan. So click on create, and then create. Start with a free trial, manage Microsoft Enter ID, access student benefit. No, I'm not a student. I don't have like email ID or something like that. So start with a free trial. I'm going to click and okay, so let me search again data bricks, Azure Databricks. It should give me Azure Databricks. Start, try Azure for free. Again, it is asking me for my login. Okay, this is just a one-time process. So it is trying to log in. I'm already logged in into this account. So your account is under review. Okay. So I can't use this one inside this account. It's under review, guys. It's under review. Okay, so because today, just right before this recording, so I have created this account. So this account is under review. It will take some time. So keeping that in mind, so I have an active account. So maybe I can try to like show you Azure portal login and with my active account. So sign in. Okay, so it is going to sign in inside my account, and here I am doing a lot of experiment, not just one, two. I'm doing a lots and lots of experiments over here in this account. This is my main account, by the way, and even I used to pay for some of the services. Now here, because this account, as you can see, it is under review. It is going to take some time, and again in this account, so I have to like fill the forms and go ahead with again a verification and tedious process, which may take some time. So just to show you, so I can just search over here Databricks, Azure Databricks. I can try to search for Azure Databricks. I can try to search for, this is my Databricks. I can try to click on create. So this is the create. I can try to click on create. And like I said, so here I'm trying to pay for something, but here you will be able to see as a free user, you will be able to see free, and then you will be able to see some sort of IDs. Simple. So here I can select pay as you go. Now create a resources. So you have to create a resources, and going forward, so whatever you are going to do, so you have to attach it with that resources. So here test underscore Euron underscore student. So this is a resource name which I'm going to create. It's just experimentation. Now workspace name you have to give. So let me give test work. Now region you can try to select. So maybe I'm from India. So there is a location called as South India. So it is going to allocate a resources, means a compute in that particular region. So whatever region which is nearest to you, so you can try to select that region. If you're from India, you can go ahead with the India. But yeah, so even region wise services varies. So in some of the regions, some of the services will not be available. You have to take care of it going forward. But yeah, as of now, I can try to select maybe South Central South India. Let's suppose this is the like something which I'm able to see. Okay, now pricing tier. So here I can try to go ahead with the standard, where I will be able to get Apache Spark secure with Microsoft Enter ID. I don't have Microsoft Enter ID. Premium role-based access control. So I'll just try to select a premium for now. Manage resource group name, I can just leave it. And there is a different tabs. So there is a networking tab. I can leave it as it is. There is an encryption tab. I can leave it as it is. Security and compliances, I can leave it as it is. Tax tab, leave it as it is. Review, and if everything, right? If everything goes well, it is going to give you validation succeed. Now I can try to click on create. It will take a couple of minutes of time for me to commence my Azure Databricks. So just wait for some time, guys, 1 or 2 minutes. So you have to go through the similar kind of a process, and the only differences that you will be able to find out is that I'm using a pay as you go account, and if you're using a free, so you just have to select the free. You will be able to get almost a similar kind of a feature. But yeah, there are some services which is a paid one, so you have to pay for it. Let us wait. Let's wait for this one. And yeah, so multiple time you all will end up like, creating, deleting all those features and services. Now, so just wait. In between, maybe I can talk about Euron courses. So we have a lot of courses over here, and everything is available. Let me show you without login. So everything is available just with the single subscription. So you can go ahead with a single purchases. But yeah, so with Euron Plus, you don't have to pay again and again and again. Just a promotion of a Euron. So just with 2,999 rupees, you all will be able to access everything. Everything means all the live classes, all the recorded classes, you all will be able to access. Okay, let's go back and check whether it's created or not. Refresh, still deployment in progress. Okay, it will take a couple of minutes, and every time it takes like 3 to 5 minutes max to max, not more than that. I will wait. So hope all of you are going to like this entire session, guys, because yeah, so I'm just trying to bring a project. I'm just trying to show you some sort of a real time experience or exposure that this is how things works inside the industry, and this is how you are supposed to learn. And again, this data factory or like data storage and Databricks, all those components are very important for any data engineer. So you have to learn at the end of the day. Still taking a lot of time. I don't want to pause this video and then show it to you. I could have done that, but yeah, I just want you to showcase how much time it really takes. It takes a lot of time, by the way. So I'm just going to show you that part. Okay, so yeah, it's done now. And what I can do is, so once you are able to see this interface here, a Databricks one, so you can try to click on launch workspace. Now, this is going to give you a Databricks entire portal. So launch, and it is launching by default. It is logging into my Databricks account by using the same ID which I have used to log in. And here, now let me do the comparison, guys. Let me do the comparison. So here we have a Databricks. Sorry. Okay, so inside this one. So here we have a Databricks, and here we have a very limited number of options: workspace, recent, then search, then catalog for data, create a workflow which I can't access with the free one, and then compute and experiment. Now, if you will go and check over here, you have a lot of options. So works, place, recent, catalog, workflow, all these options are available, but you have a SQL editor, queries, dashboard, Jenny, which is nothing but an AI agent, and alerts, then job run, data ingestion, data live table, playground experiment. So many features you have inside Azure Databricks. This is basically a Microsoft Azure Databricks, which we have commenced from Azure. Simple, right? So we have a lot of features, and going forward, so I'm going to show you how you can try to create resources, how you can try to create a compute, because here, so you can, as of now, I don't have any kind of a compute. So I can try to create a compute over here, and while creating compute, so last time, right, when I was trying to create a compute, let me show you that. So when I was trying to create a compute, it was showing me a limited number of options, as you can see, right? Very limited option. But this time when I'm trying to create a compute, it is trying to show me lots of options, because it is going to create a compute over Azure. I can try to create a multi-node cluster. I can try to create a single node cluster, as you can see, right? Lot of things I will be able to do over here. and I will be able to create my entire compute cluster where I can run any kind of a job that I want. Simple, right? Simple. So this is Azure Databricks. Going forward, so I'm going to give you a detailed overview of each and every tab, that what each and every tab actually does. But for now, I think we are done. We are good. Now, so the another service that we have to create is Data Factory or Azure Data Factory, ADF, right? So AJDURE, Azure Data, and then I can try to search for factory, Azure Data Factory. So I can try to create. So here, Azure Data Factory, I can try to create, and I can try to commence it. So going forward, so I'm going to even show you so how we can try to create a Azure Data Factory and how I can run all the jobs which I'm looking for. So here Data Factory, and then click on create, and then back to back you will be able to create a Data Factory. But in this session I'm not going to show you this Data Factory. In the next session I'm going to show you how to create a Data Factory. Again, steps are very simple, but yeah, real works start once you are going to launch a Data Factory. So before that, real works is not going to start. So hope all of you are liking, or all of you are going to like this entire session, and all of you are going to learn a lot inside this particular session. Just make sure before our next video that you have a Databricks account and you have a Azure account. Then only you will be able to execute each and everything which I'm going to teach you inside a video. Otherwise, you will not be able to do that. So with that, thank you so much, guys. See you again in next video. Thank you so much, everyone.